Hey, here we are.
There we go. I'm ready.
He's ready. He's awake.
Is Jonathan?
Jonathan is awake today, man.
I am ready to rumble. I made it here out of bed.
Yeah.
I'm ready to go.
You were early.
I was far earlier than I should have been. It worked out good, actually.
Way to go. Way to be a legend.
I tried my darnest. You betcha. How's Jonathan this morning?
Jonathan's doing good. I'm looking forward to a battle of the donuts, the Donut Royale this morning.
Donut. Do it off.
I believe all of Minot has been waiting for this for years.
I think so. Has anyone done it?
I haven't seen it, but that's probably been done.
I mean, someone had to. Yeah, it can't be unprecedented.
I saw back in the day that somebody did hamburgers.
Fair. Went through all Minot's hamburger places.
They had like 4 or 5. And they did blind taste tests. That's fine. We're not doing blind taste tests.
No, sorry, folks. Don't quite have that.
Do you have a thesis? Do you have a
prediction?
Prediction?
Yeah,
hypothesis, not
we
thesis.
We have Marketplace donuts and Bear Scat donuts.
Yeah.
I've always been a Marketplace guy.
Okay.
At heart, but we'll see how it goes. I'm going with full open mind on both donuts we have.
We're gonna look at the price. We're gonna look at the taste and the looks.
You betcha.
I have a hypothesis.
Do you?
Yeah, I believe that Marketplace donut is going to beat on the Maple Bar. I believe that Bear Scat will win on the Bavarian.
All right.
That's my hypothesis.
I love it. I think that's a fair take. We'll see how it plays out.
We'll see how it plays out.
That's
coming up. But first, we're going to talk about Elon Musk and his prizes that he's giving out to states. We're going to also talk about some state pools. We're going to talk about District 38, the debate saga that just will not go away. We have a couple tweets that we think you're going to like, so we have those.
We like them. We hope you like them too.
Yeah, you should. And they're nothing political, which is fantastic.
That's how we'll end it.
And then
you get
we have a question for you.
Oh, yeah.
What do you want when legislative session kicks off here in just a couple of months? We want to know what kind of...
How do you want us to cover it?
Yeah. So
what
do we want interviews? I mean, interviews at the Capitol would be cool, and we're not opposed to doing that, though I think they're almost unproductive because when people are going to be at the Capitol, they're going to be in business mode. Yeah. So they're going to be very short and stuff like that. But we've already talked to some senators. They're like, yeah, I would love to do as many interviews as you would let me do. So they want to utilize this. So let us know what kind of things you want from us, and we will do our best to make it happen. So looking forward to that. Yeah, it's going to be exciting to tell. So kick it off with Elon Musk. So basically, Elon Musk starts giving out $1 million to people that sign a petition stating that, yes,
we support the Constitution.
Yeah, and how can you get mad about that?
Exactly.
That's what Elon Musk thought too, exactly. Right? How can you get mad about this? Well, he knew people would get mad about it.
Because guess what?
His name's Elon Musk.
Well, of course, and it's limited to about 7 states.
Yeah, it's only in swing states. For whatever reason, there was a feeling, I guess, he had that swing states didn't necessarily support the Constitution.
Arizona, Georgia, Nevada, Michigan, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin are the states that
I've only seen it
to
happening in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
But anyways, so that's going on. And at first, the outrage is, you can't do this. This is buying votes.
Yeah. That's the initial blowback that everyone sees.
Yeah.
And then
they're like, oh, it's not. They don't have to vote. They don't have to vote for a party, let alone
you just have to be a registered voter in one of those states. So to sign up for the chance to win $1 million by signing this petition in those states, you just have to register to vote and live in one of them, and you're good to go.
Yeah. So crazy, right?
Yeah, it's highlights again in the state of North Dakota. We don't have to register to vote. We're the only state in the union that doesn't.
Yeah.
You just have to have
and that's a whole nother conversation.
It is. That is true. That's a whole whole episode in and of itself.
So now the Department of Justice is coming at him, saying this could potentially. But the thing that's been funny about it is, and I agree with this sentiment that some have said and probably read, nobody is coming out and saying this is wrong. He needs to shut this down.
Yeah,
everybody's coming out and saying this could be wrong.
Everyone's saying we're looking into it.
We're looking into it. This
seems iffy.
Something. Yeah. And
no one can just put their finger on it. And I think he had a little foresight in that. And he had the. I mean, do you think a guy like this doesn't think about something of that nature. I can't imagine he didn't see something coming, so he worked into the language of how this works to
make it a sweepstakes.
Yeah.
No, I definitely think that he looked ahead on that, and so very interesting. Would love to hear your thoughts. Stu says, what are the Democrats doing with student loan forgiveness? Buying votes. Hey, Stu, I'm not for student loan forgiveness, but I mean, I was fine with getting student loan forgiveness, and you have a hardworking person
on the
get the
surface
student
of
loan
it.
forgiveness. just get it forgiven, and they wouldn't buy my vote.
On the surface of it, right?
Yeah, but I do agree with what you're saying.
There's a little more sentiment to it than when you look into it of a lot of the people that they want to get to vote for them when that happens.
It's all targeted.
But the sentiment's always nice, right?
And it's definitely some interesting stuff that is out there in politics anymore.
No, it's crazy what goes on the national level, and it'll be interesting to kind of watch that play out here over the next probably a week or two. I mean, obviously, there's only 2 weeks to election day at this point.
Aren't you ready for this to be over?
Yeah, I mean,
I am.
I think everyone's getting ready at this point.
We're not going to be addressing it, but we finally got to the nasty part of the political season.
Yeah, it is here. So well, if it gets truly nasty, we'll talk about it on Tuesday.
Yeah,
we'll see how it keeps playing out here. Some crazy states and a couple announcements around the country where some states plan to have some delays in getting some voting out too.
This should be wrong.
Yeah, I understand. Election day's Tuesday. Maybe you don't get it till Wednesday afternoon. But they're not talking a day. They're talking specifically Maricopa County in Arizona, one of the biggest counties, 900,000 people. So more people there than our whole state. But they're saying especially, and the worst part is it's not just their voting in general, it's mail-in ballots specifically, to expect up to 10 to 13 day wait after Election Day.
The USPS is that bad.
Is that what it is? I feel like that's, and also it's crazy that it could make that big of a difference too, because it's in one of those states.
Is it crazy?
No, it almost makes sense, doesn't it?
All right, so that's conspiracy theory stuff.
Yeah,
but the fact of the matter is,
10 to 13.
Let's look at truths. I think and I don't have data in front of me, but I'm pretty sure if we looked at data, we would find that the longer it carries out, the more it tends to favor one side.
You're not wrong.
And then mail-in voting, the data says, typically favors one side.
This is true.
And there's probably more data points that we could look at on that. I don't understand why that's not figured out. If you really need 2 more weeks, then set it being postmarked today. It has to be postmarked by October 24th. Exactly. Otherwise, your vote does not count.
Sorry.
Yeah. I mean, they are mailing it in. It's inconvenient. It's inconvenient for them to get to the poll, so there can be something that's inconvenient for them as well.
Yeah. Then on the flip side, you have at least, I guess, not every state does, which I think they should, have early in-person voting.
Yep.
And North Dakota does, of course. You can vote the whole week prior to the election, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., Ward County Administration Building here in town. But I think it's something that everywhere should have as well. But I can't imagine taking over a day or two post-election to have your votes tallied. It's outrageous.
That is an injustice to the American people.
It's disappointing. I mean, is it shocking? Maybe not. But
if the election came down to Arizona,
gosh, don't
put it
on that table.
Wouldn't it be the most awful 2 weeks of your life?
I mean, I could only imagine it'll be on the level of 4 years ago or whatever. 2000 felt like I was alive, but I don't have much memory of that.
2000, that was an interesting year for sure.
Yeah. Bush v. Gore, that didn't get settled until December, and obviously 4 years ago was 4 years ago. And the Supreme Court had to come in to settle the Bush v. Gore before they finally just told the state of Florida to stop it, take the counts you have, and it's settled at that point. And who knows where this will play out. I'm sure it'll play out in a court somewhere after the election, regardless of how it plays out.
That's going to be the growing trend across politics, right?
I hope not. I hope it's done after this one, and we can move on and get back to a better system.
So you need 270 to win?
Yep. There's a chance they can tie it 269 each.
Yeah.
You know how crazy that would be? Like, I'll play it out on 270 to win.
But in order for it to tie at 269, it would mean that Nebraska's one Democrat went Republican, or that Maine's won, right? Or do you have another scenario?
I think there's a scenario where Nebraska goes fully Republican, all 4 of theirs, and then Maine's just 1 goes Republican, but their other 3 go Democrat, because both of those states have a proportionary electoral college.
Yep.
And
I think it's more likely in Maine. You think, because Nebraska always has one that's blue.
Typically, both of them have 1 each that goes to the other side.
Yeah, and right now, like according to the projection I'm looking at, it's Maine has 3 that are going blue and 1 red.
It's incredibly unlikely. They'd have to split the
but this is what would have to
Belt
happen
and the Southwest, I think.
With the thing that I just pulled up. So if we consider Wisconsin, Michigan, Nevada, Arizona, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, and Georgia all swing states, Nevada, Arizona, Wisconsin, and Michigan would have to go blue. Mm-hmm. Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Georgia would have to go red.
Okay. So, yeah, you
that's really far out there?
I don't think
that is not very far out there at all. Because
that's a lot
Wisconsin,
less far
Michigan,
out there than I thought.
good chance Wisconsin, Michigan go blue. Nevada, people say it's going to go red, and then it normally goes blue. Arizona, it was blue last time. And then Pennsylvania, I don't know. Polling data right now is actually trending a little more red.
Yeah,
but
last couple weeks happened.
Yeah, it's up and down for sure. And then you have the other 2.
Can you imagine how that would play out?
That'd be the best thing ever. It would not be the best thing ever. It'd be terrible. Zach Rackner, plenty of states have 0 issues with mail ballots. Yeah, agreed.
That's the thing.
The issues are these locals that decide to forbid their processing until the polls close. Still crazy that it takes 2 weeks. For Maricopa County.
Yeah, I hope it's a very isolated thing in places like that. I know Georgia mentioned they might have some delays too to expect, but the Maricopa County one's the one I saw specifically.
That was so elongated, and I'm not somebody's like, well, and I don't even know what to take of this. Okay, this is somebody's very, very hot take. That's probably a very bad one. They're like, well, Mexico can get theirs all kind of the day up. Okay, I get that our system is probably a lot different than theirs. So that those comparisons aren't fair. But 2 weeks to get the votes counted, 10 to 13 days, just seems a little bit long. It should be able to be resolved in 2 to 3 days, you would think.
You would think, right? But at the same time, here we are.
All right. There's better stuff to talk about than people not being able to count votes on the timeline that I think it should be. All right. So we wanted to talk about this. I felt like we haven't talked about it much. And then it just keeps coming up. And so I was like, you know what? I feel like we should be able to talk about it.
Is it time?
The District 38 debate. That never happened.
Of course it didn't. So I just want to say this first off. When I first came on board back in like May,
the only reason he wanted to do anything was for debates.
That's the thing. I love debates. It's a thing. Like, obviously we should have done better pursuing it come August, September. But my whole thing was to do as many debates as we can. So I just want to be out there and open.
If you're interested in doing a debate,
let us know. If you want someone to moderate,
Kyler's got you.
I would love to. Obviously, we can get. You might find someone better. I get that. But if you can't, I am ready to go.
Absolutely.
But
you'll ask good questions.
I will. I promise.
Ernest, good morning to you as well. It is a good morning. All right. So
how do you want to play with
the part that was interesting in this articles that came out in the Minot Daily, because we will give the Minot Daily credit. Yep. Yes, Minot Daily. We gave you credit. Is that there was actually supposed to be a debate in primary season? Isn't that what you read?
Yep.
That's what I read. That there was supposed to be a debate in primary season that also got declined.
Yep. By like here, I'll pull it up here, the article. So another local organization had proposed a pre-primary debate for the House and Senate candidates in districts 38 and 40. According to that group, only one candidate responded affirmatively to participating. 3 of 4 district 40 candidates had scheduling conflicts, and 1 Republican couldn't be reached. In district 38, where a race existed in the Republican column, Republican Lisa Olson confirmed participation. Hermosillo was unable to attend, and of the 3 remaining Republicans, only Ruby could be reached, and he declined. Per the Minot Daily News.
I don't know. I don't like that.
So, obviously, scheduling issues has always been a thing. That's understandable.
That's understandable. So
we can get on board with that to an extent.
You can go down conspiracy theories for that.
To an extent.
You're welcome to.
Of course.
But we're not.
Always applaud Lisa Olson for being willing to get out there in front of the public.
She has been great for the Dakotan.
She has. I can't applaud her enough for what she's been doing on city council. How do you think this plays out in the future? Do you think this has any other play on the election? I still don't know if it's actually. I'll let you answer before I
go. So if you're saying like the election this year,
yes,
I doubt it. I doubt it. It's gonna be hard for a lot of conservatives to vote Democrat
just because it is what it is. Yeah.
Yep. I mean, you got, and we talked about it separately, but you got Rob Port, who's like, I voted Republican, everything else except Trump. Mm-hmm. So, and Trump's done a lot to earn that. If that's
one way or the other.
Yeah, one way or the other, he's done a lot to earn that. So, I think it's really hard for somebody to go against the party line. So I don't see it swaying the election locally. I will say that
my full take on it, I can't see it turn in the election.
No.
Anyway. Lisa's run a great race. I think she's done a great campaign, and it's going to be, I think, the tightest race we've seen since like 2008 in the local thing. But I don't think Dan Ruby or Christina Wolf have anything to worry about. They're going to walk in.
But I think Christina Wolf has the most to worry about it.
For sure.
That's what I was going to go to, is because you have Dan, who's a strong candidate, who everybody knows his voting record, everything right there, and everybody knows his name.
Oh, super, yeah, huge name recognition in the city of Minot.
But, sorry guys, but I just don't know if Christina Wolf has a strong enough name with I think the debate could have actually helped her a lot.
Sure.
Basically is what I'm getting at. I still think that she'll get elected. And if you're listening, Christina, hey, I'm not trying to pick on you.
It's no knock.
I'm just saying that I think that she would have, in the whole deal, she would have benefited the most for the area. So that's my view on it. I think it's sad. Like in the whole landscape, you're talking about the election, but in the
big picture,
I think it's sad that these got declined. I think it would have been really great for the community of Minot on several layers. The one layer being just the fact that we begin to have some of these activities happening again. Yeah. We have what the Minot Chamber EDC does, but we need more than that.
Yeah.
And so that would have been really great. If that happened,
would have been nice. I think debates in any format are good for public discourse. I think to have the most information out there about any candidate in any race, regardless of situation, is good for the public in any period and a story. I mean, hopefully 2 years from now, it'll be a different ballgame.
Yeah, hopefully. And I think it would be great if we could get conversations from both sides during legislative session on issues, and that'd be more in the immediate.
To have some kind of debate forum set up.
Yeah, it's more of a forum.
It doesn't have to be nothing confrontational by any stretch. No. Not looking for that. We don't want that. We want good conversation. We want free flowing conversation.
We want to hear both sides.
Exactly, and we want good discourse.
I hope that people can appreciate that. That's one of our main goals here, is just to create conversation that allows both sides to be heard.
Yeah. That's the big picture of it for us.
I think that would have been good for, I said it would have been good for the city of Minot. I think it would have also been good for the specific voters in the areas that would have been affected. And everybody's hiding behind knocking doors. The fact of the matter is both sides claim they've knocked a ton of doors. Great. We'll see how that plays out in the election. Whoa. Both sides, you can go down those rabbit holes, and they happen on national stages, and they are obviously happening in local elections as well. So I don't know what will happen of it. It'd be cool if it affected the election a little bit.
Just a hair.
Not enough to change, okay? But I think it would be good for
enough
overall this election cycle, in every election, enough for the Republican Party to wake up and be like, okay, we have to begin to take things seriously again.
Yeah. Yeah. Start trying to get that party back together instead of having so much infighting and strife. Try and form up and really double down, get the message out there, and hopefully move forward from that.
I will say this, and I think this has a larger effect on the you got something to say?
I was just going to say this. The Republican Party in the state of North Dakota has never been stronger than it is right now, and I think they have a chance to really double down on that going forward.
That's almost a hot take.
Is it? Well,
I think maybe what you're saying is it's never been more powerful.
Maybe 2 years ago,
it's never been more powerful.
Sure. Yeah.
Because I think it still is very powerful.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's as strong as it looks.
No, I think that's fair. That's very fair. I think there's underlying faults and seams in the cracks and
right, and they're. I think they're actually pretty big cracks. I don't think it's the typical as people have tried to make it. Well, every family fights a little bit. Yeah, but there's literally, and I tie it back to when they go and you talk with the main people. They say, well, chairmen's and chairwomen's, they say there was the big tent philosophy that happened. And yeah, that's great. But what happened is now you straight up, and it's being showed with some of the political tactics that are happening, where there's Republicans that are putting money into Democrat campaigns in North Dakota.
Yeah.
Major stuff. They are campaigning against the Republican candidates.
Yeah. It's crazy. That's happening.
Yeah. In North Dakota. It's happening in North Dakota. And what that says is not that those Republican candidates are terrible. Some of them might be. I don't know. I haven't looked at the list of every single one. But a lot of that comes down to the fact that the Republican Party got their tent a little bit too big. They got it a little too big.
Yeah. For where it's no longer containable.
So that all will probably get fixed over time. But hopefully
this allows them to start sealing some of those holes.
Hopefully what will happen, though, is it'll balance, not turn it the other way where it's completely Democrat.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Where everything just goes, and we just always be on this pendulum where there's always just one major party in the state. Yeah. That would be awful. It'd be great to have a two-party state and
like 60-40.
Yeah, had that power all centralized in a two-power state, keeping all the outsiders out.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, it's a wonderful system.
Goes back to your
I think and this might be a hot take. I was gonna have this as one of my hot takes, and I was like, nah, we won't. I think the more damaging thing that local Democrats have done is made abortion the message that they're running on. The deal with abortion is that it's so divisive.
Yeah.
It's so divisive where you
can't take a middle ground on it.
Yeah.
Without offending someone.
So when you make it a message, you can't take a middle ground on it because you're automatically putting yourself in one area. But the problem with it is that my view of abortion and your view of abortion are probably two different views.
Sure.
Okay. And then you go and you get people that are conservative, and you get 5 conservatives together. They could have 5 different views on abortion.
Yeah.
And then you get the Democrats, 5 Democrats or liberals together, and they could have 5 different views on abortion.
No, without
so the point that I'm saying is that it becomes so divisive because you can easily alienate people within your own party based on your stance of abortion.
Without a doubt.
And now you bring that into Minot, which is a heavily conservative, well, not heavily, but fairly strongly conservative area.
Safely.
And you go and you make that your main message, I think that that's not something that is productive for your campaign. You can go and you can look at the voting records and you can go and say, hey, this person was this, that, and the other thing. But overall, I think it just says people that may have considered voting for you be like, no, I can't because you're not. And I mean, on the virtual town hall that we did with the Democratic candidates, I feel like you found two very different views on abortion right there.
Yeah, just
very different.
Coming from the same party.
One was a very moderate view on abortion, and one was maybe the standard Democratic view on the abortion, or maybe it's a little more liberal than even that. I don't know for sure. One of the candidates said would not use it as I don't support it using it as a contraceptive, and I just feel like that message where you're going and fighting on that issue and that be your main issue in the Minot area has a chance of losing you votes.
Yeah, I just feel like that's something in this area that it's hard to hang your hat on.
Yeah.
Like we said, it's such a safely conservative area. This is something that, especially, however the side of it you end up taking that's away from the mainstream in the area, you're going to end up pushing people away from you.
Yeah, I think what
that being your main message.
If you wanted to have a message to go fight on budget. Yeah. Property tax is obviously an issue.
Ethics.
Yeah, go fight on ethics. But so you can talk about yours in a minute. But on budget, I'm thinking like if you went and you said for the last however many years there's not been reform, even though people have wanted reform, like me to Bismarck, I'll finally work to get this happen. Yeah. I'll actually make your voice heard. Suddenly people might perk up and be like, okay, this is maybe a fresh voice here could help.
Yeah.
You're saying ethics.
I'm saying as an idea. There's been some names in the state legislature the past couple of years that have come into some legal issues, and I feel like that's always a way you can play it however you want to with that. I love your budget take as well. I think that's a great play on it, but I just feel like back to your main point, abortion isn't the best thing to run
Abortion
on.
is not it. So, yeah, I think that was an interesting deal. I think that hurts local candidates more than the debate saga. And I hope that there's nothing else said on the debate saga.
Yeah, I feel like I think it's been hashed out at this point. It is what it is. We're 2 weeks out from election. What do you do at this point?
You know what?
It is what it is.
We got some tweets coming at you soon, but let's do these donuts.
You want to go for the donuts?
Ernest says, I think they need to enforce drug laws better in Minot so you don't have crazy people walking around talking to the air.
Yeah.
Minot is definitely struggled with that. It's really a sad epidemic that's happened really, I think, throughout the state and it's a side effect of the nation.
Yeah.
And it's a question of how Measure 5 will affect that.
Yeah. Will it?
Will it or will it not? People say it won't.
And if it does, how bad will it?
Yeah. So, all right, we'll start out with the maple bar.
All right.
Okay. My left side first. So this side first.
Okay.
Oh, wait. Put it back on.
You're going to show them the whole thing.
You guys didn't get to see the donuts.
I was going to just, boop it right in front.
There we go. These
donuts,
are them.
Yes.
The maple bars.
Maple bar donut.
We'll show you the other ones when we go. All right. Left side first or my left
this
first.
One,
you don't have to eat the whole thing. So first off, looks very nice. It looks dull.
Very solid.
Very solid. Yeah. And it looks dull. It does look like there's a lot of maple on there, which is a plus.
Yeah.
That's not always the case at Bear Scat. It just depends on the day.
And this is Bear Scats.
Yep. So.
A lot of frosting. Can confirm. Very mapley.
That's a good thing. Do you like maple?
It's not my favorite, but I mean, I'm not opposed.
I told him maple. I don't like chocolate donuts.
I'm fine with anything, frankly.
So
it's almost kind of cinnamony.
Yeah, there's always with their maple bars. There's always like an air taste.
Yeah.
Have you used an air fryer?
Yeah.
Okay.
Great.
So yeah, but there's a taste that comes with the air fryer.
Yeah, for sure.
Have you noticed that?
Yeah, for sure.
That's what sometimes it feels like that. It's not that same air fryer taste, but it's something like that.
I get that. It's got that.
Probably the oil they use.
I would assume.
Everything comes back to the oil.
This is Marketplace.
The tried and true Marketplace.
A lot lighter.
Open on Sunday.
Yeah, this is true.
Okay.
This is interesting.
Which one do you like better?
Their maple isn't as pronounced, but I don't think there's as much frosting.
I like the maple from Marketplace better.
I think I'm the opposite. So I'm gonna be difficult because I'm me. So I think Marketplace's donut, the base, I like better.
Yeah.
But I think I'm taking Bear Scat's frosting.
So I think I pretty much have the reverse of you. I'm gonna just try the base.
Yeah, it's kind of what I went for there.
The base is fine. It's just frosting.
I definitely, I'm doubling down on my initial take.
For you.
Bear Scat frosting, Marketplace donut. For the Long John, for the maple feller.
All right. Next up.
Bavarian cream.
Bavarian cream.
Which one first? The duo next to each other.
There we go. Real donuts. This is a real thing we're doing.
Yeah, I promise they're real. Yeah.
I'm going to get a drink so I can clear this palate. Yeah, I think we just go same system.
I think so. Do that one first. Bear Scat first.
The thing is the frosting over there looks really good from
Marketplace.
All right, we got plenty of filling.
Bear Scat, very, very much full of filling. Nice.
This is going to make a mess.
Yeah, I can see it coming. I wore white today. Good call, huh? Yep.
What a reaction.
You betcha.
You betcha.
I like it. I like it.
So I'm not a huge chocolate fan, and Bavarian cream, the Bavarian cream has to be good. I'm not just for any Bavarian cream.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Bavarian cream's a hard one to get right.
All right, wait a minute. This is one of the biggest problems with filled donuts. There is substantially less filling on this.
Yeah, 100%.
Marketplace did less filling,
100%.
so that is not all right.
Also, for better or worse, when taking Marketplace's donut out of the wrapper, the frosting stuck to the wrapper a little bit.
Yeah, but that's a two-sided thing because because Bear Scats doesn't, and it's almost like it's like too hardened on there.
Yeah,
yeah.
I think with Marketplaces here, we're gonna. I think this. We'll try it.
I can't even taste the filling. It's just chocolate.
It doesn't have a lot of flavor to the filling.
That's why I don't like that. That's why I don't like it, because all I can taste is chocolate.
Yeah, even with you can taste the fillings there, but it just doesn't have a ton of. You can taste
the cream of it.
But it doesn't have a lot of flavor to it.
Yep.
Definitely Bear Scat with the Bavarian cream. I think Marketplace's frosting might get the win a little bit, but Jonathan doesn't like chocolate, so for me,
not a huge fan of chocolate on my donuts.
On donuts, yes, chocolate donut guy. So for me, I think on that one, Marketplace gets the frosting win, but Bear Scat gets the donut win.
One thing we have to look at though is cost.
Yes.
The Marketplace costs $2.98.
So for Bear Scat, 2 donuts was $4.50.
Yep.
So
you'll have that with Bear Scat.
You're about twice the price, roughly.
That's a stretch.
Close.
It was $3 for Marketplace.
Okay, yeah, you're $1.50 more. So you're
50% higher. Yeah.
Fair. Take that as you will. Who's your overall winner?
Well, you can't have an overall winner, can you? On that?
No, just Marketplace or Bear Scat.
Yeah, I know.
I don't have one. It's a tie, frankly, by the 4 metric.
Yeah.
Actually, if we go by...
If I was going to go to one or the other, I'd go to Bear Scat. If I wanted a maple bar, I'd go to Marketplace.
Sure.
But I like the overall, Bear Scat has better variety, and they do a better job. So, like, the raspberry filled is one of my favorite donuts.
From Bear Scat?
Bear Scat. And it's... Well, I'm sure that Marketplace has one too, but they just don't do it as well. Because they have this, Bear Scat has this wonderful frosting they put on top. It's so sweet, dude. It'll make you sick, but it's pretty good.
Now we know what we're trying next time.
Well, what we need to do is get a competitor to the Cruffin.
Ooh.
Because the Cruffin is a croissant muffin.
From Minot Daily Bread. No,
yes, Minot Daily Bread, and it's filled with wonderful stuff. But if there's a certain
What do you want to watch us eat?
Yeah, it's
places
very,
in town?
very awkward.
You want us to eat Thai food on here? We'll do it. Chinese food? Do like Leanne Chin versus China Star? We'll do it.
Dude, I don't want to get sick.
You don't want Chinese food at 8 a.m. from last night?
No. No. So we're not opposed to doing a lunch one, but I was not thinking Chinese food.
I'm saying I'm up for anything. If you want us to do Longhorn, we'll do that.
Longhorn versus what?
I don't know. Longhorn.
Like a Badlands steak versus Longhorn steak?
Sure.
It's got to be competitive.
Yeah.
So one that would be interesting would be go and like do tacos from a couple like Me Mexico and Don Tapatio.
There you go.
That'd be interesting.
That's a good one.
Doing hamburgers, Five Guys, and who in town can compete with Five Guys? And there's places I have in mind, but I'm curious what your take is.
Yeah, you could try You could do Burger Time.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
Yep.
I haven't had a Burger Time burger in forever. We might be late.
They
take forever.
Yeah. Their parking, their situation with their drive-through is not great either. You pull out into not a great location on Broadway.
So,
but they do have good food.
That would be interesting. Also, with Iron Horse, getting a burger from there because they basically when they started tried to compete with Five Guys, in my opinion.
And there's that new place that's opening where old Taco John's used to be on Broadway.
Rockies or whatever.
Yeah, it's going to be a burger joint.
That would be interesting. Yep. So
if you
chicken strips, go and do some chicken. Popeyes versus Slim Chickens.
There you go. Do worst case scenario, do them versus that hot dog stand around town.
Go worst case scenario.
If you have a business or restaurant in town and want us to eat your food, reach out.
Yeah.
We'd love to.
We'd love to. It'd be a honest treat.
I would love it. I like all of this. So where do you want to go from here? Do you want to do tweets or do you want to do some state polls?
Let's keep the fun going.
All right, let's do tweets and then we'll probably.
Yeah. So you had a tweet.
I did. It was fun. So, if you think back about 20 years, growing up, there was a very iconic image. It was of Kevin Garnett and Randy Moss. And it was I think Sports Illustrated cover photo back in the day. And it was iconic. I loved it growing up. I didn't know who Kevin Garnett was. I wasn't a big basketball fan when I was little, but I loved Randy Moss when I was a kid. And that picture was so cool. He was wearing the Timberwolves jersey, which I thought looked cool because it was all black. And then this really tall guy was wearing the Vikings thing. It was really cool. But fast forward, all of a sudden, Timberwolves are competitive again. Have a new, young, rising, up-and-coming superstar. The Vikings have a young, top 2, I think the best receiver in the league.
Just be quiet.
It can be easily argued. However, that's a whole different ballgame as well. They recreate an iconic photo for ESPN, swapping jerseys. You have Justin Jefferson wearing the Timberwolves, Anthony Edwards wearing Justin Jefferson.
I don't even know his name. The best.
I almost called him Anthony Jefferson. I'm sorry.
Best basketball player that the T-Wolves have. Don't even know his name.
He is by far right now. Anthony Edwards, Justin Jefferson, swapping jerseys. It's iconic. Great interviews they gave too. I love the photo.
See. Oh, we didn't want that. Sorry, guys. Uh-oh. That's my tweet.
But
that's not what I wanted though. Let me see if I can.
What do you
fix this real fast?
But I love to see Justin Jefferson and Anthony Edwards doing things together. They both really want to win something for their the title for their team. I love to see it.
Yep.
I of course, being a Vikings fan, want to see Justin Jefferson bring home a championship to Minnesota. Would love to see the Timberwolves win one. I think that's the only team outside my favorite team that I would be more than happily cheering for out of the West.
Interesting take.
I love to.
No, I actually think that was a cool tweet and cool picture when I saw it come out.
Great homage to a couple of legends.
Yep, and it helps keep Minnesota relevant.
It does.
That probably sounds mean, but
it's a thing. It's Minnesota sports in general.
It's not intended to be mean.
They're just our big brother when it comes to that thing.
Yeah, we have to look to them. All right, this is what I wanted to show.
Yes, Jonathan.
So no, this is still yours, but what this is a side by side.
Yep, you got the comparison going there. I love it.
So
see, it's beautiful.
It is
the recreation. They came. I love it. I love Justin Jefferson. Love Anthony Edwards.
All right, my tweet. Sadly, I had a video. I don't want a video. I took a screenshot of it, and then you wanted the live tweets, and there it is.
See this?
But I was so disappointed when I saw this tweet.
Why?
Because you have a true father-son duo, Ken Griffey Sr. and Ken Griffey Jr.
Iconic.
Who hit back-to-back home runs in a real baseball game.
Ken Griffey Jr., one of the top probably 50, 100 baseball players of all time. Ken Griffey Sr., a fantastic baseball player for his era.
And then you have Bronny James Sr. and Bronny James Jr.
Hey, if it didn't happen now, they were going to keep talking.
Or LeBron.
They were going to keep talking about it all year.
So you're saying because you said that, yeah, that's probably not going to happen. He's probably going to get sent down to G League, and then the opening game he goes and he plays.
Well, he's going to get sent down to the G League. Of course, they had to do it right away. If they don't do it today,
so he doesn't play anymore this year.
I think he's going to play again. He was probably going to play in the next 2 weeks before the G League starts. When the G League starts, expect him to get sent down to like someone either gets hurt or like March, April time frame.
Interesting. So do you think that, or let me ask this. This is a question I wanted to ask. What is the comparison in basketball to a home run? Is it a triple-double?
Maybe.
Or I'm not triple-double. A double-double?
I was going to say something along that line. Yeah.
Is it a double-double?
I was going to say triple-double might be a bit much.
Yeah, triple-double is too much. But double-double
is probably fair. Either that or like what, a 25, 30-point game?
Yeah.
Being like something along those lines, being like a.
Does Bronny James Jr. and LeBron ever do that? Not ever's I get too broad, but I'm saying.
What are the likelihood
this year that happens?
I would give it a less than 1% chance of Bronny James scoring more than 5 points in a game.
Yeah,
he's not a good player.
Oh wow!
I'm not afraid to say that. He's not a good basketball player. It's complete nepotism, but at the same time,
he would whip me.
Of course. Oh, he kicked the living. If we played 10 times, I could stop him once.
Yeah.
And that's probably because I got lucky and bodied him a little bit, and I'm kind of big. That's my only shot.
He did have one good game in the preseason.
Yeah, he scored like 17 points. You know the kicker? Lakers lost by like 50.
That's what it takes.
It's fun.
I'm not sure if it's right here. Like he had 3 minutes, 2 field goal attempts. Made 1 3-pointer? Had a 3-point attempt.
I was going to say, you want to know the best part?
What?
In that 3 minutes, the Lakers got outscored 7-2.
Bad defense? Dude, the guy is small
for
the NBA.
He's like 6'2".
For the NBA.
Yeah, I know. I'm not. Yeah,
I'm agreeing with you. He doesn't have a wide frame either.
He's not. No, he's got kind of long arms. He's kind of athletic. Like he profiles at best case as like a 3-and-D guy who hopefully gets good enough to guard like a guy that can play the 3.
Yeah.
But if not, I mean, what's he going to, maybe Lou Williams, best case scenario, which that's a high bar to raise if you know anything about basketball. Lou Williams, 6th man of the year from like 10 years ago. But like, I don't see.
It's the only reason why Kyler knows him.
I love Lou Williams. Big game Lou. Anyways, that's a whole different ball game. We're not a basketball podcast.
We are not.
Not yet.
No, we're not going to be. But yeah, does somehow, so we don't talk about our tweets. We have a little document we work off. We throw them on and I'm like, we're both doing sports tweets.
It's perfect. I love it.
It worked. All right, polls, man. Now
this is with this?
There was a lot of tweets on polls. There's a guy that's popping up. Yeah, and it seems like there's a lot of, I don't know. We're not looking at national polls today. We're looking at North Dakota polls.
Just state stuff. So, I like 2 different sites. I use 538 and RCP. 538's
founder of 538 said what?
What did he say?
Gut feeling said Trump's going to win.
Fair enough.
That's crazy.
That is crazy because as I was just going to say, 538 typically a little more left-leaning. RCP typically a little more right-leaning.
So hopefully these balance each other out.
That's kind of my hope. But typically when we look at North Dakota polls anyways, there's not a lot of sources to
538 is a cool site, though.
I like how it's set up.
Well, it's not the setup is good, but I'm saying like they do stats on everything.
They do. They have so much stuff.
ESPN uses them a lot.
Yeah. No, they have so much information on there. Well, also they're owned by ABC. So.
Yeah.
Just, anyways.
Oh, you're saying that ESPN's owned by?
Yeah, same parent company. So
yeah, Disney owns it all.
Yeah,
you're saying that Disney owns the world.
I didn't say go that far. We can get into that, but that's not what I said. All I'm saying is that we're looking at polls from North Dakota, so there's only like, if
all right, so let's find
Katrina Christensen, Kevin Kramer outdid it, or like the North Dakota News Cooperative.
And there's none in October on 538.
The most recent one ended in September 30th. So they had the North Dakota News Cooperative put out a poll at the end of September. So coming into October, the most recent polls that have been conducted in the state per 538 has Kevin Kramer leading over Katrina Christensen at 51%, with Christensen at 29%.
That makes no sense.
Think that's too much?
Look at the WPA WAPA intelligence poll for the presidential election there. 59% Trump, 32% Harris. And then for the other one, they take off.
I assume there's an undecided, not sure column.
A lot. Mm-hmm. Very high.
So, and that's the flip side of it. There's a lot of people that don't know who they're voting for yet, or at least coming into October didn't 2 weeks ago.
That's very high.
That is.
Couldn't sway, because even with the undecided, Kramer has over 51%.
Exactly. Well, that's within the realm of 60-40, which there
maybe what would be your ideal like percentage on the vote? Like 55-45? What would it be?
Between that and 60-40, 55-45, 60-40.
I feel like 60 gets the landslide. It begins to feel that way.
That's when you start getting into that super majority stuff.
No, it needs to be under 60% this year.
I think that's fair. That would be crazy if it happened. When was the last time? I mean, I guess 2 years ago, but there wasn't. That was a three-way race in the Senate race when Hoeven got like 58% or something.
Yeah, which was ridiculous.
Yeah,
for him to get 58% in a three-way race with a strong conservative running against him.
Also, if you look at on the flip side, that's the worst percentage and vote totals John Hoeven got in a state race ever. Except, no, that's a lie. With the exception of his first race in 2000 when he ran against Heidi Heitkamp for governor. That was like a 54-46 race. But since then, he won in 04 with like 70%. He won in 08 with like 70%. Race, right? Then he won the House race in 2012 with like 60-some%. Won re-election in 2018 with like 70%. And then last 2 years ago, he had like 56%, which...
He started out in the House?
The governor. If I said the House, I meant the governorship. Before that, he was in the banking, family industry stuff.
No, I'm saying governor, and then he went to the House.
The Senate. Oh, did I say the House?
Yeah,
I meant to the Senate. He ran for the Senate in 2012. Yep. That's my bad. Then back to polls. Only other one, there's two other ones, excuse me. So for the House poll, has Fedoracek leading Trygve Hammer 53% to 28%. Also, a lot of undecided voters in that race, looks like, as of right now. Only other one then is the governorship, which has Armstrong leading pretty handily, 54% to Merrill Pepcorn's 24%. Also has Michael Coachman in there with a whopping 3%. He is
a whopping 3%.
They included him. But also, same thing though. That's what 80% of voters, 81%. So you're still looking at almost 20% of voters undecided at that point.
It's crazy.
That's what's polled. There's 500 voters polled with it. So always take it with a grain of salt. But
yeah.
One interesting thing, you go back a couple extra days, Katrina Christensen and Kevin Kramer both issued polls towards the end of September. Kramer's poll came out with him at 60% and Christensen at 31%, so that has 91% certainty.
And I don't know what Christensen's poll was, but let me guess. It was like 51, Christensen 49. The other.
Kramer had 49% in her poll. Christensen had 40%, so only a 9-point race.
Interesting.
And also, that's what 89% of people deciding with a one way or the other. Crazy
for sure.
Well,
it's been a ride, man.
It has been.
It always is with you.
I love it, Jonathan. Any final takes, final words for whatever's going?
What do people want to hear from us about?
Where do you want us to go forward?
We're going to be putting together a survey, so that way you guys can
give us some feedback.
Give us some feedback on the legislative. That's the biggest that we're curious about right now. So we'll be getting that out, and feel free to comment hard and comment. Don't vote often. We don't want to.
Yeah. No. Comment often and vote.
Yeah, but on the survey, don't do it. Don't do it multiple times. We don't need that skewed.
Don't be that guy. Yeah,
we don't need it skewed.
Please.
So, but we will be putting that together because we do want to make sure that the content that we produce is something you're actually interested in. Yeah. So
make sure you like, subscribe.
How many percent was it? 75%
aren't subscribed.
Yeah,
that's crazy. Please subscribe. We want to keep doing this. We enjoy it. I hope you enjoy watching us. If you don't, I guess
that's fine, but still subscribe.
Yeah, regardless.
You don't get it.
If you don't like us, comment why you don't like us. Give us talk smack.
Talk some smack.
I'm ready
we'll take
for
it. Oh, yeah, it's increased. 76% of our watch time comes from non-subscribers.
Look at that. Please subscribe, like, comment, follow us on YouTube, Facebook, all the things, all the places. I think a lot of places, we have a lot of our podcasts on Apple, Spotify, all the places you could want to hear, watch, anything with the Dakotan, mydakotan.com, of course. And we appreciate it as always, truly.
Good stuff. All right. Thanks for watching this episode of Minot Talk. We'll be back on Tuesday at 2 p.m. Thank you and have a good rest of your day.